One summer day in 1957, a child named Roger Mason was rock climbing with his friends in Sherwood Forest in central England when he discovered what he could only describe as an unusual rock. He took a rubbing of it and that night delivered it to his father, a professor at the local university. His father, a stoic man, was dumbstruck and asked to be taken to the site immediately. The sample, revealed to be a fossil, now resides in the Leicester Museum and is something, according to the museum, of a fossil celebrity. Prior to its discovery, prevailing belief held that the Precambrian era may not have had any non-microscopic life, aka macroscopic life, at all, but this fossil, known as the Sharnia, proved everyone wrong. However, that's not why this fossil is so important. It's important because this fossil doesn't make any sense. First thought to be a plant of some kind, Sharnia is actually an animal, but unlike every other animal to have ever lived on the Earth, not counting me of course, Sharnia lacks a mouth, a gut, or any filter feeding apparatus of any kind. It lives too deep in the ocean to photosynthesize, and there is no evidence of it being able to take in nutrients in any other way. So, how did Sharnia survive? No one knows. We live in a unique and significant time in scientific history. Our greatest minds have accomplished feats that seem almost impossible, conquering the heavens, curing incurable diseases, and making sponsored TikTok content. But despite all of our incredible advances, there are still many, many things that even the most brilliant of us just don't understand. Today, let's dive into a few of the mysteries of modern science and try to shed some light on the darkest depths of our understanding. Everyone knows that the mitochondria is, say it with me, the powerhouse of the cell. But on your biology test, if you got one thing wrong on your fill-in-the-blank cell diagram, I bet it was this one. Know what it's called? Sorry, but it's actually the Golgi apparatus. You forgot about that one, didn't you? After all, it does... What does it do again? Right, it packages proteins into vesicles. I knew that! It's an extremely vital part of all eukaryotic cells. It's like a post office. It figures out what needs to go where, packages it up, and sends it where it needs to go. But how? How does it do that? Well, per Wikipedia. Though there are multiple models that attempt to explain vesicular traffic throughout the Golgi, no individual model can independently explain all observations of the Golgi apparatus. In short, no scientist has yet been able to explain how the Golgi apparatus actually functions. We've been trying for decades, and still, it eludes even the best of us. It's a vital function of how all life forms operate, and we have no idea how it works. Speaking of life forms, I've been thinking a lot about birds lately. Because I saw this video of a crow, like, talking, and it really rattled me. Plenty of birds can do that, actually, mimic sounds. We all know parrots and parakeets and mockingbirds. Now here's the thing, birds that mimic, we know how they do it. We understand the mechanisms that allow them to do this behavior, but the thing that always eludes us is, why? Why did evolution gift them this ability, and why do they do it? For a long time, there were three main hypotheses. There's the Beau-Guest hypothesis, which is birds pretending to be other species in order to deceive others that their territory is bigger than it actually is, like muddying the waters. The Batesian acoustic mimicry hypothesis. Say that 3 times fast. The idea that mimicry may deter predators by copying the vocalizations of animals that are predatory or antagonistic, like scaring off a villain by shape-shifting into a T-Rex. I'm not that great at metaphors. And the attracting a third species hypothesis, which says that birds who mimic might benefit by inducing mobbing of their predators by competitors of another species. You ever play Civilization? It's that kind of 4D chess type of tactics. However, according to a landmark study published in 2008, with few exceptions, our understanding of the function and acquisition of this fascinating behavior seems to have scarcely progressed. We conclude that there is no compelling evidence to support any of the functional hypotheses, and another published in Biological Reviews in 2014. Vocal mimicry is poorly understood despite being widespread amongst birds. Our understanding of the evolutionary dynamics of vocal mimicry has been hampered by a severe lack of observational, descriptive, and experimental data. So all of the hypotheses were wrong. But in these studies, I see not lamentation of the unknowable, but rather hope that someday these questions will be answered. I'd say we have time for one more mystery, and it's one you certainly wondered yourself in fervent elementary school daydreams. Speaking of birds, let's take a look at their distant ancestors. Yes, you know where I'm going with this. It was the asteroid. I mean, everyone knows that, right? There is indisputable evidence of a catastrophic asteroid impact 66 million years ago, and indisputable evidence that it radically altered Earth's environmental conditions. Side note, did you know that asteroid has a name? It's called Chicxulub, and we actually know precisely where it hit the Earth. It was in Mexico, right? Here. Thanks to modern science, we know all kinds of details about Chicxulub. How big it was, 6.2 miles in diameter. How fast it was going, 20 kilometers a second. And its immediate effects, like 620 miles per hour winds at the center, and a cavity 19 miles deep. So it's not a mystery then, right? Well, while the asteroid itself is not a mystery, there are many mysteries surrounding it. Number one, how did so many avian species survive this impact? Which is a big, big question we do not have time to get into today. And number two, a more recently uncovered mystery. What if the asteroid was just the nail in the coffin, and dinosaurs were already on their way out? A very recent study, published in Nature in 2021, reveals that dinosaur biodiversity had already severely declined 10 million years before the asteroid hit. What caused it? Well, like so much of what lies in Earth's distant past, we can only speculate. Maybe dinosaurs were always destined to go extinct. In this sort of Final Destination scenario, they survived the bridge, they dodged the evil bathroom appliances, but the asteroid will get ya. I am fascinated by mysteries like this. I have to wonder if we'll ever actually understand them, or if each of these mysteries are destined to remain mysteries. I have to admit, I am fond of the idea that some things are simply unknowable. Perhaps some things really are. So, the next time you find yourself up against a seemingly impossible problem, a question without an answer, or a weird striped rock you found in the woods, remember, everything we know now used to be something we didn't. And everything we don't yet know may be tomorrow's next big discovery. And maybe you'll be the one to discover it. Thanks for watching as always.